Our school had they had the same thing that a lot of people's schools seem to have. That was like, it was a paid cafeteria, but the food was really bad, and it would rotate on like a day-to-day basis, but on a weekly cycle. So on Wednesdays they always had Mexican fries, which was like just French fries with like sour cream and ground beef on the top.
Oh yeah.
Michael L. Fox would eat it like right in front of my face and like breathe
Sounds kind of
into
good,
my...
to be honest.
He said it was great. I was not a big fan.
Did you have any food ever be like trendy at your school, where like everybody at my school wanted the mashed potatoes all the time, and they would just eat that?
Oh my god, dude! Fucking fries in elementary school were a form of currency.
Yeah.
What's up with the trendy foods at school? I don't get it.
Pepsi Blue.
It's because your arms look like twigs? What? What is that in reference to?
He's just letting you know.
I mean, they do, so you're not wrong.
Yeah, fries were an extra $1 at lunch. But
That's
fries
pretty cheap.
But fries were invaluable when an extra $1 was only provided to you by your parents.
Yeah,
It's like you
right.
didn't have an extra $1 to just buy fries if you wanted to buy fries.
And you always had to pay the fry tax a little bit if like you got lunch but somebody else brought lunch.
Right.
It's like, well, you got to give me 2 fries or I'll fuck you up.
Wait, no, what? When did that happen?
You guys didn't have that?
No.
What happened?
But fries turned into favors.
Whoa, sexual favors?
Yeah,
Fry
dude.
favors.
Shit got real at my elementary school.
That thing in Napoleon Dynamite about the tater tots, like, that really rung true to me, because there were times when I'd take the tater tots in my pocket with me.
All right.
I know.
I'm going to need you to stop. You would put the tater tots in your pocket to eat later?
Yeah, so I could have a snack while I'm at school, listening to teachers.
It's not your fault.
I'm glad you had to clarify that.
I had big pockets. I mean, what do you want me to do with them?
My wife hasn't seen Good Will Hunting.
Nick, please. I knew that was coming.
We found NL's limit. It's true.
Very intolerant of alternative tater tot lifestyles.
For
What the
clandestine
fuck,
snacking. J-Man, thanks for the resub. And Rye Rowan, and like the 30 people I missed while we were talking about. I was defending my school's practice of taking us on field trips where we go swimming, which...
Monthly? That's just
Monthly?
absurd. I will never... That just doesn't make any sense.
It's just absurd.
That's 10 times a year. You went swimming for an hour 10 times a year. That's out of control.
That's 30 hours taken away from learning to go put on lizard goggles and... And I bet you didn't even swim. I bet you're the kid that's like, oh, I'm Ryan. I'm too
I'll just
cool to
tread
swim."
water in the shallow
Dude, I
area for a
swam
while.
like hell. Don't slander me, mister.
Dirty Apples and Scotty, thanks for the resubs. I appreciate it. I appreciate it more than going swimming every
Who's
once a
too
month.
cool to swim? Swimming's awesome.
I could see you being
Well,
that kid.
If you think you're
Look,
too
make
hot,
up
you're definitely
mine.
going to swim. If you're too
Make up
cool,
your
you might
mind on
skip
what
it.
kid I am. Am I too cool or am I into it?
No, I never said you were into it. I could see you like trying to encourage people not to swim.
Hey, everybody, nobody swim.
That's what they want you to do.
We could be learning this. We could be spending this time learning.
You could be doing our multiplication tables right now.
Learning what 12 times 12 is for the 400th time. We could be busy learning cursive writing right now. Yeah, Dan, how do you feel about cursive writing, Mister? I'm so pro education system.
I never says pro education system. I've never heard that before. Ball and chain, Samson's old ball and chain, nice. But I was gonna ask you, have you ever gotten detention or kicked out of class? Either of you guys?
Dude, I got detention one time, and it was for the stupidest shit. I was like the most
Red
careful
glasses?
kid. No. There was a pep rally, and I didn't want to be there because that's a stupid thing, in my opinion. And I wanted to go with my friends. We were in senior year of high school. He had a car, and we wanted to go drive somewhere. And I asked one of the aides if we could leave early, and I had permission. And then a different aide caught me in the hallway leaving. Even though I had permission, the other aide threw me under the bus, and I got detention for it.
Wait, was an aide a student?
No, it was like the people that walk the hallway that are like employees of the school.
Were they armed?
They were not. No, we're talking early 2000s.
Okay, got it.
Were they
Something funny about that,
armed?
Ryan?
No, nowadays that's actually a valid question.
For real?
But,
Oh man.
yeah.
So it was like you got put in jail for.
I got detention for nothing, and then I went to detention, and they told me that my name wasn't on the list, but now that I was here, I had to stay.
How salty were you?
I'm
You were
still
probably-
salty about it to this day, and it was like 15 years ago.
Oh my god.
And the birth of the anti-establishment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's where it came from, right there.
The catalyst of the.
That was the
goth phase.
moment.
You're
No, the
like,
goth
as soon
phase
as
was
I get
before
out
that.
of here, I'm getting some red sunglasses. You fucked up, America.
They let me down, man.
All right, so you got detention, Ryan. Do you ever get suspended or kicked out?
I never got suspended or kicked out. There were a couple times where I got some detentions. In
what?
third grade, I had taken like a day off from school sick, because apparently we do no learning anyway, so who cares, right? But so at recess of like the next day, I was doing the work that they had done the day before, and there was another kid who had detention, but he got detention for being like bad. And I was eating these wheat thins that my mom packed for me. And I was like, hey, you want my wheat thins? And he's like, yeah. And then I said, well, go get them. And I just threw the whole bag of them in the trash across the room. Like, dunked it straight in the trash can. And then he, like, jumped at me and, like, pushed me out of my chair. And we started to fight.
Shit.
And then the teacher came in and was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then they explained it, and I got in trouble. And as a kid, I was like, what did I do? But then I got older. I was like, I was being kind of an asshole.
That might be one of my favorite stories that you've ever told me about your high school career.
Wait, so when you chucked the wheat thins, did they like go out of the Ziploc bag?
No, I sealed the bag, obviously.
Then go get them.
I didn't want to spoil the wheat thins.
Oh man,
You ruined that kid's whole life. He had to fight you over it.
He had some behavioral issues.
so you just taunted him.
Yeah, basically I taunted him. Probably shouldn't have exacerbated the situation.
I think you were completely in the right, and you did everything not wrong.
In my head, I
my
was just
story.
like, that'd be pretty sweet.
Go get him.
Austin in chat said he got detention for picking up an acorn. Not even joking.
Serves you right.
That's fucked up, Austin. I'm sorry.
Is that your acorn? Did you put it there?
What were you doing 12 years ago?
I was in like 10th grade. That's about it.
I know the worst trouble you got in grade school. What's the worst trouble you ever got into in high school?
I didn't get into any trouble in high school.
I find that extremely difficult to believe.
And I'm being honest with you, the worst trouble I got into in high school. Whoa! Let me think.
See,
The other thing is like, do I want to tell this story?
you gotta tell it now. Mind if I roll? Steve?
I knew there was gonna be a dread steed in here. It's the only thing that makes sense.
I thought about crafting another one, but don't sidestep the high school initiative.
I know. One second. What do I want to play here? I mean, that's like no good.
Let me guess. Did you unleash a harem of chickens throughout the halls of your high school?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't that much of a very good bad boy.
Did you tell a teacher to F off?
I threw my textbook in the trash can and said, "Why don't you go get it?" No, in 10th grade, I wrote a letter to the editor of our newspaper because our school is like, it was not a like wealthy private school. It was like, I'm not gonna say it's decrepit. In hindsight, I'm actually pretty pleased with the education that I got there. But we had like ratty old textbooks and like ancient computers, and our school was like, hey, we got like a $10,000 grant from the government. What are we going to use it on? We're going to use it on a new curtain for the stage in our cafeteria. And I was like, well, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that, right? So I wrote a letter to the editor, and I was basically, I might have oversold it a little bit. What does this sludge belcher do? Okay.
Wait, can you give us a brief overview? Hold on, that's Gabe calling.
Yeah.
Can you give us a brief overview of what the letter said?
It was just like, you know, basically our school supplies suck. Please God, don't spend the money on this freaking curtain. Spend the money on our education instead. You know, give it to the kids. And then, maybe phrasing on that one, but, and yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I didn't realize they printed it. So like 2 weeks later, I stroll into the cafeteria and everyone's like, whoa, there he is. And I'm like, what do you mean there he is? And then, they're like, you wrote that letter you wrote to the editor? It's in the paper today. And I was like, oh shit. And then I spent like the next 3 days being like super concerned that I was gonna get called into the principal's office and like, you know, reamed. But then I wasn't, so it's all good. I didn't really get into trouble for it, but definitely I did have some teachers talk to me and be like, hey man, like we sort of agree with you, but at the same time, you shouldn't have written that.
Well, let me ask this: what propelled you? Good game, by the way. Like you're gonna win, but I just wanted to play this combo.
Sure, yeah.
Probably be cool. What propelled you to do it? Because most time, if you write a letter to the editor, it's for extra credit.
Yeah, no, this was just of my own volition, just because I was a nerd.
But you something like, "Geez, Louise, our textbooks are just not getting it done." And
basically, yeah.
Carpet? Like, did you have this conversation with your friends, or you just took it upon yourself?
I just took it upon myself, you know. I guess I didn't have enough homework that night to distract me, so I decided to write a letter to the editor.
Did you tell your parents about it when it got published?
No, after it got published, they were like, "Well, this is a surprise." But no, I did not tell them. I did not tell them in advance.
Do you think there's a chance somewhere that letter's archived?
It's possible, but I mean, it's not going to be that much of an artifact, you know.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's just going to be like me being angry about our textbooks, but I suppose it's theoretically possible.
Well, I just imagine the punctuation and dictation of that letter.
Well, I was only in like 10th grade, so it's not.
Yeah, but your 10th grade is probably like everyone else's graduate school.
So, you keep talking. What was the most trouble you got into in high school, Dan? That you can talk about. You know, the statute of limitations is done.
High school is where I learned, and this is, you know, if you're in high school, just plug your ears. High school is where high school is where I learned how to do stuff and get away with it.
Yeah.
So like middle school is when I got in trouble, and I already told you that story, so I'm not going to tell you when I punched the kid in the Speedo.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I remember.
But you know, I really didn't get in a whole lot of trouble. I was good at avoiding it. I had a older sibling, so I'd hang out with her friends, and you know, they kind of taught me the ways of not getting in trouble. So it was pretty decent. I will say that I'll tell you this story, and I didn't get in trouble, but I had this sophomore history teacher who was really, really tough and really, really strict. And we had a geography quiz, and around her entire room were all these maps.
Okay.
And on quiz day, she would, I don't know if you remember those maps, and there's like 8 of them on the same roll, and you pulled one down, and
whoa,
like,
Mathis opened Madame Goya. Did you see that?
No, we're not.
Okay, good. Continue.
But you know what I'm talking about, those old maps where you pull it down, and then, oh, there's Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Pull another one down. Oh, there's the Costa Rica. But so we had this quiz, and she covered every map except the one behind me, and this was like a really big test. And whenever her deal was, whenever we had a quiz or test, she would leave the room.
Oh, why though?
Just as like she was that kind of teacher where she would like test our ethical limits.
Oh, that's nice of her.
So she walks out the room, and you know the class is like dead silent, but you can like make googly eyes at people and like dick around and stuff.
Yeah.
So I look behind me, I do a double take. I'm like, the geography map is the same one she left behind me. So I went through this internal debate with like an evil egg and an angel egg on each shoulder, saying, just look at it and, you know, fill it out, and she's never gonna know.
Yeah.
So needless to say, you know, I'm not saying I cheated, but if there was an opening, I might have slid it into the DMs. And then so we come out the next day or the next couple days, she comes back, and you know, she talks about grading the test and talks about the grades and tests, and she goes, but there were 5 of you that had access to this map.
Oh,
and are you ready to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Had access to this map, and she goes, I'm not accusing anyone, I'm not saying that I know who did it, but if you did it, turn yourself in, and you'll get a 0. If not, and you get caught, then you're gonna fail the quarter.
Yeah.
And so, and you had like 5 minutes to make a decision. Hold on, let's do this. You have like 5 minutes to make a decision. So let me ask you this: if you were in that situation, number one, would you probably wouldn't have had to look back at them?
I'm telling you 100%. I have never cheated on a test in my life.
That's not surprising.
It would not have even dawned on me to cheat on the test. But would I have turned myself in? Probably not. I'm a coward. I probably would have just taken, like, if you look at it logically, you're like, so I can either like fail or I can get 100. Yeah. I'd probably take the 100, I guess.
But let me ask this: would you have thought to look around in your environment?
Oh no, I would have been too focused on pointing out Costa Rica on the test itself.
So let me ask this: do you think any less of someone that might have looked back at the map?
No, not in hindsight, no.
Would you have turned someone in?
Oh, why? Did you get turned in?
I haven't got to that part of the story yet.
Oh.
So would you have turned someone in?
No, I would not.
You would have?
I would no, I would not have. I would not have.
It took you so long to think about it. Are you just saving face for YouTube?
I would not. I swear to you, I would not have.
Are you a stoolie? I could see Melf turning someone in, but
yeah,
you?
Me too.
So anyway, so long story short, she. long story short, she didn't tell us her grade. She just posted them on the door the next day.
Yeah.
And that walk up to that door was probably, I'll never forget those like 10 steps in my life.
Why?
Because you're like, you found out if you got caught or if you failed the semester based on leaving a map.
That's fair. Down. Well, did you get caught or did you get 100?
Remember, I'm about to bring this full circle. Remember when I told you about high school?
Yeah, you found out how not to get caught.
Mind if I roll maps?
Mind if I roll maps?
Do I want to clear you? No, I don't want to clear you. But yeah, so I was really kind of, outside of that one academic and indiscretion, I was pretty good.
I mean, in freshman year, like, I didn't really get into trouble, but I did talk a lot in class. But I always had, like, these bullshit moments that annoyed me. Like, I'd be talking to my friends, and the teacher would be like, hey, be quiet. And then my friends would be talking really loudly, and I'd be like, yo, guys, can you be quiet? I'm trying to do my homework. And the teacher would be like, that's it, get out to the classroom. Like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to self-police here.
Hold on a second. Ooh, I should have done that first. Ooh, sorry. Okay, so you're saying that that's the most you got in trouble. See, I could see you getting in trouble. Did you ever correct the teacher for something they said that was false that you knew to be true?
I don't have a story like that, but I do have a story where we were playing this alphabet game in like 3rd grade. So the teacher would be like, okay, name a country that starts with this. And then you go like, okay, so A, you'd be like Argentina, Bolivia, whatever. And you go through the whole alphabet. And I answered like the first 3. And then the teacher was like, okay, Ryan, you got to give other people a chance. And then she's like, name a country that starts with D. And the whole class is fucking stumped. Like, everybody's racking their brain. Oh, a country that starts with D, does one even exist? And I'm sitting there squirming in my seat like, Denmark, hello, Denmark. And then it's been like 5 minutes of this, and I can't hold it in. I shout out, Denmark! And then she's like, okay, that's it, mister. Like, you're on the silent treatment for the rest of the game. I was really mad.
That's funny that you remember that, but I mean, that's like reverse ADD?
I guess. Just get that out of here, man.
That's crazy, man. So like the whole class didn't know, and you were just sitting there like,
because they didn't watch enough of the 1994 Lillehammer Olympics.
I bet you did as a kid too.
Of course, I had the Super Nintendo game, man. I mean, Lillehammer's in Norway, but Denmark had a pretty good ski jumping team. I knew a kid at school who would never poop at school.
I don't blame him.
Dude, I wouldn't either. I never.
If you're the pooping kid at school, you know how much shit you have to deal with?
There was like a 10-year period in my school career where I didn't poop at school.
I didn't poop at school. I didn't do. Who poops at school?
I actually remember specifically that like in the 2nd grade, I pooped at school. And then I don't think I did it again until I had like a gastrointestinal emergency in junior year. And it was like a landmark moment for me. Because my identity was built around not pooping at school in my own
Yeah.
head, and I had to compromise that belief or shit myself.
It's amazing the things that people don't know about you until the last moment.
Yeah.
Like, your whole
And
identity
you
is
die.
based around not shitting, and that just never manifested for years.
It's very true. I mean, when you define yourself as, you know, as inaction, it's hard to demonstrate it, I guess.
I don't know, dude.
That's a little
There's
on the
this
early
spot
side.
above the stage at our auditorium that people used to fuck up there, like on the metal lattice. People went way out of their way to fuck in school. Like, pretty
What's
dangerous.
so good is you can ask Fox. We went to like the most redneck, like, is a collector high school. So they were like, you know, some comptroller looked at a map in like 1965 and was like, "Oh, big space here without a school." And then they just put a school there, and like all the kids who didn't live close enough to go to the other schools went to this school that just existed like by default.
Right.
And there was a cosmopolitan mix of students at this school. You know, geniuses and total idiots who hopefully have reformed their act and don't know where I live now. Either way, the point is, we have no stories like this. It was just, people just went to class, and then they I mean, there were fights occasionally, but, you know, as you know, when in Rome, but, like, the rest of the time, everyone was pretty cool with one another. People got along. Teachers were cool.
I mean, I shouldn't have stories like that at my school, but also it was in Houston, so that just adds like 3 layers of stupidity to everything. Anyone from Houston knows that, like, you can't go to school there without there being at least like 20% stupid people doing stupid things.
Okay.
Give your rabbit diarrhea so bad it becomes fatal.
Oh my god.
All right.
That's kind of the opposite of what I heard it was.
Right, they're allergic to it.
What though? Because I remember I used to work at like a. This is weird, but our school had an animal center, or my middle school, and we had rabbits, and
An animal center?
yeah, we had a bobcat.
Shelter? Wait, what?
Yeah, it was weird.
That's pretty cool.
That's
I-
awesome.
Yeah, that is
I
pretty
volunteered there. Would go there for an hour every morning before
I
school
would hang out
started.
with Bob every day.
You
Do they
didn't
have
get to
any
hang out with
wolves?
Bob. He was dangerous.
Oh,
Also,
Bob!
Was his name Bob though?
His
Did they
name was
name?
Bob.
That is fantastic.
I'm so happy!
Yeah, he died the last year I was there.
Why did you have to tell me that? What's wrong with you? I just met Bob.
It was sad. They had like a whole like school assembly of all the people who volunteered there. Anyway, well, I'm pretty sure we fed the rabbits lettuce. Maybe I'm misremembering. I know we fed the turtles lettuce. That was
Well-
annoying. Nobody liked feeding the turtles.
Those are two
Turtles
different
smell
animals,
awful.
though.
Yeah.
As far as I know, at least.
Maybe it was
Those
just
are
like a
two
little bit
different
like a
animals.
treat, like not a lot. Like you give them a little bit.
Apparently, cabbage is like really good for rabbits.
Huh. Oh, I can actually read the copy pasta here because it's not moving.
Why did the rabbits
fuck?
fucking die then? Because I don't
Oh, never
understand.
mind.
They definitely are
Look,
dead.
for something to be
cabbage.
for something to be poisonous makes sense to me. The idea that it makes them fart, but they can't fart, so they die, honestly, is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. And I'll
I didn't
recant
question
that
it.
if that turns out to be the mechanism that ends their life. But it's one of the that sounds like a Middle Ages explanation for like
That
oh,
was the explanation I was given,
No,
and
the-
I didn't question it.
the
because
cyanide
bunnies were
corrupts
dead.
the yellow humors, and then they just overtake the body. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm remembering all the stories from that animal center now. I totally forgot about that aspect of my life.
Do we
So,
have
like-
a spooky castle in this game? Sorry,
Yeah,
go
of
on.
course we do.
Oh, dude, I'm excited. So there was Bob. This is actually an awful story, but the Bob. So we had,
The
they had
Bob.
everything. They had rats. They had bunnies. They had a couple chinchillas, which
Yeah.
are adorable.
Look at the
Um,
cleavers.
And one day, I remember you could volunteer for a weekend day if you really wanted to, and so I did that, and we all went in, and it just felt wrong. Something was up, and we go look into Bob's cage. He has a
Oh,
huge
no.
like 3-story cage that has
It's like how
things
making
you
a
can jump
murderer
up on.
starts, honestly.
And there's just like there's scrapings of blood on the bottom
Whoa.
of his cage.
Oh my god!
and like a little tuft of fur. He had one of the chinchillas had escaped.
Oh, not the Peters.
And it walked into his cage and he ate it.
Oh.
Ate the whole fucking thing.
It's the animal kingdom, man. You don't fuck
Yeah.
around.
I love taco salad.
I hate taco salad.
Oh my god.
I would eat it every day.
You guys like Mexican pizza though?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Dope.
Feed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Feed it.
We used to have like this weird Mexican pizza for like school lunches. I wonder if I can get a picture of it.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds gross, to be honest with you.
Did you
Go
ever
on,
have
like,
trendy school lunches that people were really excited for every time?
Lunchables
Yeah,
pizza.
country fried steak.
Yeah.
Dude,
Mexican
I would-
Friday.
I would totally be
Google
excited for that.
Google Mexican pizza school lunch. I used to love that shit.
Really?
At my school, it was mashed potatoes and gravy. The kids went nuts
Wait,
for it.
That was it.
That's a side.
No, that's all they would get, a bowl of mashed potatoes and gravy.
That's not
No,
okay.
Nick,
That's
that's
horrifying.
That's a side.
That
I was
doesn't.
into it like they were.
That
It was
doesn't
really
give a
trendy.
growing child everything they need for the day of learning.
It doesn't matter. It was trendy as shit, and we would all get it and go outside and sit on the area outside of the lunchroom.
And eat like
A
bowl of mashed potatoes.
and gravy.
Was it
Not
packet
sad.
gravy?
It was delicious.
I mean, I like mashed potatoes. I'm not
It was
against
really fatty, light gravy.
Well, I mean, Malf, we went to school. Like, we're gonna be able to tell our kids one day. They'll be like, "Oh, for school today, we had like super engineered Soylent salads," and we're like, $2.50. You get the crispy French fries. That was your lunch.
Yeah,
Or crispy.
Wait,
Well, you could get battered fries for a little
Wait.
extra.
What?
Yeah.
Fancy.
Our kids is
Wait, am I not supposed to
Yeah.
go through the gorilla?
Yeah, you can go through Harambe.
Go run it through the gorilla. He'll never forgive you.
I don't understand.
On was it Wednesdays or Thursdays was Mexican Friday, and that was my favorite day of the week.
Wait, excuse me?
I know.
Ryan, on Wednesday or Thursday was it Mexican Friday?
It's like how we had 420. It was almost on Friday.
It was the only time of the week. It basically like Taco Bell's fries supremes, but our school did them, and they were actually like
Butter.
No.
really good.
Part.
Yeah,
That's
so
not the
dumb.
part.
I know.
Take that into hell with you.
But it was either on a Wednesday or a Thursday. They didn't actually do it on a Friday.
Yeah, it was like $2.75. You get Mexican fries.
Dude, you guys had like great
Spicy.
fucking school lunches.
No, we did not.
We
Our
had
burgers
prison lunch.
sucked.
We had the circular pizza discs that they
Love those.
made those in the microwave. I hated them. They
Loved
also
them.
had some like soggy ass stuffed shells that they would
I
have.
never had.
You have
The
pasta at your
manicotti was
cafeteria?
top-notch.
Yeah, actually, we would get raviolis, but it wasn't raviolis. It was Chef Boyardee, basically. It was
Oh, well,
like
that's
the,
right.
the
That sounds
raviolis. Actually, that was the only one that I could stomach. I enjoyed that one's delicious. This is Chef Boyardee, man. Like it's.
I love
nothing wrong
that in
with
the same breath. Rob said, "Yeah, that's the one I could stomach." It was delicious.
I mean, hey, man, everyone likes Chef Boyardee. How can you not like Chef Boyardee?
Why do you hate the disc pizza?
Because it's disgusting.
That's what our Mexican pizza was like. It was
It's
like
bad
a
pizza,
weird
though.
disc. It's so.
That brings me back to being a kid.
gross.
I'd get 2 of them, get them going, get a nice. I'd get the iced tea crystals and stir it
yeah.
up in the. Oh, and then I'd sit down. I'd watch Price is Right. I'm having a ball.
Well, this guy's
Chocolate milk?
eating
Wait,
lunch at 11 a.m.
Were you eating lunch at a fucking nursing home? What were they playing?
Yo,
Price is
You
Right.
don't like
Pump
Price
the
is Right?
brakes, kid.
But I mean, what school is playing The Price is Right? In
No,
the
this is like
lunchroom?
on the weekend at home.
They don't play prices right on the weekend, you
You're having
liar.
school lunch at home? Wasn't that the whole
Must have
topic?
been like reruns or something because.
How'd you get the school lunch though?
This
No,
whole
it's not at school. I don't watch TV at school. They don't. You think they let us watch?
Wait, I'm
TV at
confused
school?
on what we're talking about anymore.
I'm so confused.
exposed.
No, oh, it was Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. I'm sorry.
Wait, what was Michael Alpha? Wait, are you confusing Price is Right with Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman now?
Yeah.
How?
No. It was the summers off, you fucking idiots.
Well, where'd you get the school lunch?
No, I said I used to make those pizzas at home.
Oh,
I never heard that part.
But also, why? Did you just get them from the school? It's like, yeah, give me a couple of those disc pizzas.
You can buy them at a grocery store, Robert.
Disc pizzas. God, I fucking hate this world.
Pillsbury or McCain, you get a big box of 8, or you could go to the frozen. We have this frozen food store, and they had their own. And you
Oh,
buy them in
M&Ms.
bulk. No, it was like
They got
a
peanuts in 'em now.
smaller chain of M&Ms, slightly better quality, but similar. Yeah.
I think
What the fuck is going on? Yeah, I don't know.
He's done it.
I've talked about this before, but I don't know about your guys' school, but in my school, no matter what meal you were having, you had a choice of milk or chocolate milk to drink with it.
Yeah,
And
same.
it
We had
disgusting.
milk, chocolate milk, strawberry milk, sometimes vanilla milk.
You're
1%.
kidding!
Pepsi
Yeah.
Blue.
Are you
You had more
what?
than the 2?
Yeah, I had a lot of milk options.
We
Yeah,
also
I went to like a podunk
school.
school, like in the country.
Why did they fucking serve milk? I'm having pizza.
Dude.
I'm gonna have milk with the pizza.
I know.
That's
Milk.
disgusting.
You ever like? When was the last time you went out to like a restaurant with somebody who was an adult and they ordered a glass of milk? 'Cause I think that would be like a huge warning sign.
What's the worst thing you guys have ever done to a teacher?
I got a good story for you, Dan. It's a little savage though, so I'm not sure. So
Give me.
we had like a substitute teacher in 8th grade, and to like my interpretation, she was being kind of a little bit of a bitch. Like everybody in class is talking, and then I talk, and then she's like, "Ryan, don't talk. Like, you know, be quiet. Go do your work." And then I was like, "Why is she singling me out?" But anyway, so we kind of had like a little back and forth, like, you know, adversarial relationship over the course of the day. And then at the end of the day, there was a school assembly, which was like Teacher Appreciation Day, and we all like went up, and every class sent a representative, and the principal gave us a flower, and we were supposed to give it to our teacher. So as as a joke, she was like, you know, "Ryan, you get to go be the representative for today because you've been like misbehaving." And I was like, "Oh, I'll give her a teacher appreciation. She'll never forget." And then they gave me the flower, and I walked it back to her, and then in front of the whole school, I just threw it on the ground at her feet, and then I walked out of the cafeteria. And then later, when my real teacher came back, she was like, "What did you do to that substitute teacher?" Like, she called me crying that she'd been, like, victimized.
That's how I feel like you're the kind of kid that jokes around in class, but you just destroy the teacher.
I don't know what her problem was. Fuck.
Well, she told you to stop talking. Don't you think you should have acquiesced?
Yeah. She should treat everyone with egalitarian principles, though. And we gotta, or rather, we should at least keep in mind that we're not always gonna gain anything for picking an item up. Oftentimes, we'll actually probably lose something for picking an item up, so we should only take stuff that helps us in one way or the other. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, like, these videos, they're kind of like that. You don't think about it logically when you're doing it, but you are having a conversation with yourself. You know, you finish an anecdote about food poisoning, and then you try to drop a little thread for there. You say, like, "Oh, well, speaking of thread, this is a true story. I had a sewing project when I was in 6th grade. It was the worst teacher I've ever had. He made about half of the kids in the class cry over the course of the school year, myself included. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It was among friends, you know. He just beat people down. He was like a drill instructor. Later fired from the school for reasons that I'm not going to disclose. But anyway, he was also kind of a great teacher, in that he wanted to teach us practical hands-on skills. And you might laugh at that and say, "Sewing? Why wasn't he teaching you Haskell?" Maybe that's just me. Well, sewing's practical. He taught us how to use a drill press. And that sounds like a euphemism, but I assure you it isn't. That's not what he was fired for. Taught us how to use a skill saw and a jigsaw and a miter box. Forced us to do things we didn't want to do, which also, again, I didn't mean it to come across like that, but, you know, in our class, in particular, I was like, "Oh, could I just read a book instead?" "Nah, you gotta build a birdhouse." "But I thought this was school." Anyway, I had to learn how to sew. This is a story that reflects badly on me. I procrastinated. We had to make a paper mache head for a puppet, sew a body for the puppet so we could put it on our hand and do a show with it, and then write a script and then perform it. So it was actually like a pretty, in hindsight, if it had been executed better, cool project for like a 11 or 12-year-old class to do. Forces them to unite a lot of skills, and actually at the end they create something that maybe they can, I'm not going to say be proud of, because even the best ones were trash. I mean, we were 11 or 12, right? No offense meant. But I procrastinated. And then when it came time to do the sewing, I left myself like 3 hours, couldn't figure it out, and I was just like, Mom, could you sew this for me? And I had her sew it for me. I'll admit. In a moment of weakness. I was the type of kid that I was, I did most, like the vast majority of projects, papers, essays, and speeches, etc., myself. That time, I will admit, I'm not much of a sewer. Or I've got sew, but I'm not a sewer. So anyway, Lisa Hearts. That's the end of the story there. People, you know, you're gonna think that maybe. First off, F you, straw man that I've invented in my own head. To cry in public as an 11 or 12-year-old, it was highly embarrassing. We all thought those years were behind us, but it's not that bad. It's not like you're crying over something extremely petty. And that teacher, like, to be honest, he just broke people down, man. Like, you'd think that you were good, and then you'd just start bawling because he had been a terrible person for like 8 months. You know? One time, I was sick. This is also a true story. I don't think I've ever told this one in any videos or anything like that. We had like a class president sort of system, but not for the whole school, just for our own class. And every month we elected a new class president, and they had to like do meetings. I don't even think we want Jesus juice. There was always a president, a treasurer, like somebody would make a poster, so it was like an artist. Blah blah blah. You get the idea. So me and this other dude were both elected. There were two like presidents at any given time. And we were supposed to have our meeting. I was sick, so I couldn't come to the meeting. Like, literally, I was not at school. The day I came back, he publicly held an impeachment in front of the whole class. And was just like, well, I know you were sick, but what do you think, class? Should we give him another chance, or, just pop this. Should we give him another chance, or should we impeach them? And everybody voted for impeach because they were 11, and they were like, we don't know sensitivity necessarily. It would just be funny for this to happen. Anyway, so we got impeached, and me and my co-president both shed a tear, which I think is fair because it was extremely embarrassing as a 12-year-old. And like the dude was just an inconceivable piece of garbage. I'm sorry to say. Is this delirium? No, his mom's sorry. Fantastic. I saw a guy who was now like he was tough. He was a tough kid at the time. Now he probably works as like a freaking welder or something like that. He's a blue collar, salt of the earth. Cried. You know why he cried? Proximate cause. Got the wrong slice of pizza. He used to do pizza orders, and he wanted a slice of pepperoni. They ran out of pepperoni, so they had to give him a slice of supreme or something. You know, basically like an all-dressed piece of pizza. He cried. But was he crying because of the pizza? No, he's crying because the teacher was a jerk the whole year. We didn't have any safety net. It felt like any kind of rocking of the boat could cause us all to drown. So that's, see, leave yourself a little conversational thread there. Now, I could spin that into another anecdote, but I think it would feel a little artificial. Even though I do have a story about almost drowning once, but I've told that before. I stole Xeno Saga off of a friend of mine accidentally.
I had a game that was stolen twice. I bought a new one and it got stolen again.
What was it?
Fucking Phantasy Star Online.
Oh, for the original
GameCube.
Xbox? Oh, for the GameCube. That's what I meant.
That game's worth like fucking $120 now or some shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
No wonder it got fucking stolen all the time.
Yeah.
Chat, what's next? What do I need?
So I was lent Xenosaga by a friend of mine. And then, like, a week later... This is in high school. I don't know if you were privy to the situation, Malf. But, like, we were all hanging out together. You weren't there yet. You were just a twinkle in our lunch table's eye. And
hanging
then
out with the cool kids.
probably
and then-
true, yeah. And then like one lunch, there was like a secession.
Okay, that's
Like a
easy.
couple of people just started sitting at a different table, and then one by one, people left our table. And it was clear that they were leaving our table because there were a few kids there that they didn't like very much because they were annoying. And they weren't wrong. They were annoying. But then they were like at the other table, right? And they were like waving their arm like, hey, come over. And I was like, dude, I can't be the guy who's like, sorry, I just like these people more than you. I'm going to leave this table and go to the table that's admittedly cooler, but I would be selling my soul to do it. One of the people at the other table was the dude who lent me Xenosaga. Guess what, motherfucker? Still in my parents' house to this day.
Oh, there was a game I wanted to steal, but I never did.
Oh,
Kirby
well,
Ape Ride.
That's good that you didn't steal it.
Yeah. I mean, he was the one that stole fantasy, one of the copies of fantasy stuff.
So turnabout is fair play.
Yeah. Did you guys have the fucking fitness test in elementary school?
Yeah,
where
but
you
no
had to
rope.
do like push-ups, and then it became like a competition who could get the most.
Yeah, I never really participated in the competitive part.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Dude, like there were some kids who just could do 1 billion push-ups in a row.
Yeah.
Like, I was so bad at the push-ups. I was the sit-up master, but I could not do the fucking push-ups for the life of me.
I remember in 9th grade, like one of the orientation days we did for high school, they had us do a push-up contest in the pseudo gym class outside. One of my classmates busted out like 80 push-ups out of nowhere. I was like, you're 13 years old. You could do, and even the upperclassmen were like, yo, check it out. This kid's doing like, he's over 75 push-ups right now. This is crazy. I will never forget about that moment. But I feel like kids have like weird strength. Like, I feel like if you're a strong kid, you could do like 80 pull-ups. As an adult, if you can do 10 pull-ups, you're like a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of those, the chin-ups and the pull-ups and whatnot. Those were good. Those were fun. I used to be also the asshole kid who would do it on like the walking light signs.
Or in the bar in the subway.
Yeah. So
What
sometimes
were your guys' best mile times?
I never did any of that.
Probably like 10 minutes.
I had a 747, and I was so proud.
Yo, that's
747.
a fucking airplane, dude. You must have done it in like 2 seconds.
That's incredible. 600 miles an hour.
I have
It was like
no
the most
idea.
athletically like cool thing I'd ever done. There was I was not the best though. There was some guy who ran like a 640 or like a 6-minute one or something.
Isn't that like
shit. It was,
Chariots
like-
of Fire?
I don't know. I don't know what like the best mile times are, but all I know is that mine was like okay for someone who doesn't like run track, and then his was just like, I run track.
One time when I was in college, we were hanging out at this douchey kid's house.
Playing some Geometry Wars?
No, actually playing some FIFA.
Oh!
Yeah, and we actually he got so pissed off because we were playing on his career mode, and he was like, "Yeah, just whatever you do, just don't slide tackle my players because it'll cause injuries." So we just not-stop slide tackle the middle of time.
Oh no.
But and then at one point he does the I'm a man thing, and he's like, I bet you can't do 30 push-ups. He's like, it's like, I can, I don't care. It's like, big kid. It's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, fine, I'll fucking do the fucking push-ups. And then I did it, and felt like an asshole.
I mean, dude, even 30 push-ups is pretty. That's a decent set, honestly.
Yeah,
It's reasonably impressive.
but isn't it odd who people who challenge you to push-up contests never really want to participate in them?
Oops. I have the exact opposite story there. I think I've told it before, but rarely. In 2nd grade, I joined the cross-country club at my elementary school. So at lunch, you would, jog. And then on the first day, the teacher was like, hey, if you're coming out for this, just so you know, you're going to work hard like every single recess. If you don't want to work hard, then just leave. And I just left. I just turned around and walked back into the school.
Straight up, I would have been gone.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
she was
absolutely.
like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "You laid it out straight, and I don't want to agree to the terms of the deal. So I wish you no ill will, but I don't want any part of this."
I appreciate your candor.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to, make her feel bad. I was like, your motivating speech worked on 99% of the people here, but it scared the shit out of me. I was also 8.
That's fair.
There was a chess tournament at our school, and like in the first round, I got matched up against an 8th grader. So you had to play matches like at recess. And the first recess, he was like kicking my ass. So I just stalled, and then it carried over, and then I never showed up to the tournament again. I just thought maybe they would. I don't know. They couldn't give me the loss because I didn't lose. I just didn't show up.
I had a similar experience in the debate tournament.
Oh no!
Oh lord.
I did not enjoy being in the debate class, so I had to go to a tournament at some point. So I just showed up, and the girl I was competing against gave her side of the thing. Like, we were assigned an argument, and we had to do the for and against.
Were you for or against school uniforms?
Oh, back in the day, we had school uniforms.
Really?
Back in the day, so I was very much against them.
Yeah, I'm against them now.
Yeah. Still
We
am,
had,
I guess, right?
In middle school, we had to wear like one of 3. Or no, we had to wear khakis and a polo shirt.
Did you go to school at Best Buy?
Wish.
Anyway, I got up and said, "I'm here because I have to be," and then I sat back down.
Wow!
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Pretty much the Marshawn Lynch method, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you're bringing up all sorts of memories. Like one time, I'll admit it, I don't care. I already got my bachelor's degree. They can't take it away. In 6th grade, 7th grade, we had to do science fair projects, and like the top 10 would go to the regional science fair or whatever. And I just made up the results for mine because I was like, this sucks, I don't really want to do an experiment, so I'll just make up like some plausible results. And then when I gave the presentation, I said, they ask you like, where would you want to take your experiment from here? And I was like, well, to be honest, I don't have any good ideas or really the desire to carry this on any further. And then when I got my grade, they had put me in like 11th place. And they were like, if you had just not said that you didn't have any passion for this, then we would have sent you to the regional science fair. And I was like, that seems completely fair.
Yeah.
Saved me a Saturday, though.
Right, yeah. Thank God they didn't make that choice.
Yeah, they would have seen my fake results.
When I was in elementary school and we had to do like PE, the physical education. Yeah. Maybe this is actually why I have such a negative view towards wanting to exercise, because you would have PE and it would be like every day, and I'm not kidding. We would do the same exercise every day to the same 3 fucking songs.
Oh
no!
It was Eye of the Tiger.
Du hast.
We Didn't Start the Fire, and it's something else.
I love that you remember 2 of them at least.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not even that I dislike those songs, but if you have to listen to them every fucking day, just please, God, stop.
Public school system doing you proud, dude.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have one of those gymnasiums that had the folding wall in between where you had to put the nuclear keys in at the same time to turn it?
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about, but we didn't have one, but yeah.
So in 9th grade, we had one gymnasium, and there's a girls' health class or gym class and a guys' gym class. Well, for like 3 months, the girls prioritized use of the gym so they could play dodgeball and stuff like that. And every day they would drop the other foot on us. They would be like, or the other shoe. Sorry, I don't really understand the expression, to be honest. We'd do our little warm up, and then we'd be like, all right, coach, what are we doing today? And he's like, today we're going to the weight room for like 45 days in a row. Our bodies are just like, lactic acid is coming out of our eyeballs. We're begging, like, please, God, why do the girls get the gym every single day? We just want to play some floor hockey. I'm so sore. And that is when I got red pilled.
I was wondering what the conclusion
Where the
was gonna be.
punchline was.
Yeah.
Me too.
Did you ever get the gym?
Eventually, yeah. I mean, we would get it like 2 days a week. They would get it 3 days a week, which is still bullshit, but.
Oh, blowfish,
Blowfish, bitch.
You know, considering how you just gloated off of that one, I suggest that it perhaps was you who shot the homing RC car backwards to the guy at 9th place.
I do bite my thumb, sir, but not at you.
I don't know. I don't miss PE class, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, hell no.
I think that PE class should be mandatory all the way through high school. And I'm not even doing a bit right now.
Honestly, I'm with you, but if you're gonna make me listen to Eye of the Tiger
Yeah, they
every
should
day
get-
for 180 days, then they can suck my dick.
Spotify should give free premium to, like, scholastic institutions.
I agree.
There should just be like a fucking workout class, huh?
Yeah, like I
That would
think
have been so like useful.
that's way
actually.
more useful than a lot of.
How to exercise
Yeah.
properly? That'd be great.
And health class, if you're gonna have a health class that talks about nutrition, you gotta get somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. Because I remember our gym teacher taught our health class. He was like 75, and he was like, basically the gist of the bit is he was like, French fries are okay to eat, but don't eat them with ketchup because ketchup's all sugar. And we were like, okay, coach. You've been doing this for 60 years, so I'm sure you know what you're talking about.
Actually, one positive thing I remember from PE class is they had a guest presenter in one time, and his name was Nego Gato.
Oh my god!
Yeah, which just means black cat in Spanish, I assume.
That was
but
his real name, or wait, was
well,
he like?
I don't know.
Was he like it was one of those things where he went to prison and part of the community service was he had to talk to ninth graders and be like, don't smoke crack?
No, but he was like a capoeira master. And
Whoa!
He came in and he did some like capoeira, and you know, I was like, I don't know, I mean, it was elementary school, so I didn't know what the fuck capoeira was. No, but he was spinning around. It was really cool.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah, and it's also just a sweet name. I remember it years later because it's just like, oh, that guy's dope. I want to hang out with him. I wonder what he's doing now. He's still doing
He
capoeira.
came out with a bunch of capture devices for streamers.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to see he's on.
Which joke was better?
I didn't hear yours. So
all right,
what was yours?
Yeah,
mine was he's in Tekken now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, also good. Yeah.
Like, we're gonna play that exact game later in Jackbox. So
yeah, that's true.
Unless we're pivoting, I don't know.
Dude, I kind of hate this game.
It's not as good as Mario Kart, for sure. I've told the story many, many times, but we did a debate module in 9th grade English, and I think you don't get assigned the position based on your own personal beliefs. So don't be mad at me, okay? But I remember we did a debate. The debate that I was in. I don't know if you were in my class for this, Malf. Maybe not. But you know who I was debating against. It was a boy who was from Canada but had an English accent for some reason. And had it his whole life. And his parents were not from England. We were like actually close friends. I'm just saying this to identify to Malf who it is. So we had a debate about whether or not pornography should be illegal. And somehow I ended up on the it should be illegal, and he ended up on the it should not be illegal side. And I can't remember what he said, but he was like, in some ways it could be like educational. And then I just remember that I said, do you know that from personal experience? And the whole class went like, oh, and I thought I crushed him. Like I thought that meant that I won the debate. And then when I got my grade back, the teacher gave me a 55 out of 100 and said, you can't resort to personal attacks in a debate. And I was like almost in tears. It was like the lowest grade I'd ever received on anything. And I was like, I won the debate. I made everybody go, what? Anyway, I'm not sweating this guy, dude. Don't even worry about it. If it wasn't for the fact that he like two-shot me, we'd be creaming on him right now. I mean, like, look at our damage.
Holy cow. I'm gonna sip. You're a dangerous sipper. Ever tell you about how I saw a 1 hour photo, the Robin Williams movie where he plays a psycho in 9th grade? I was talking to my friend about it. And then he was like, yeah, that part at the end where he forces that couple to like do each other, I was about to cream my jeans. And I didn't know what that meant. And I was like, because it was so scary, right? Like you almost pooped your pants. And then he was like, no, that's not what it is. And I was like, I know. Uh-oh, uh-oh! Cinematic finish. Enemy felled. Gargoyles, black axe. Also, future serial killer. No, I don't think he's a serial killer, but I definitely do. There was like a time where, like, I don't know, like, we were like peers for a bit, and then like I went to college, and then I feel like when I came back from college, he was like, George W. Bush did 9/11, and I was like, I think we should just stay Facebook friends. And then like his Facebook just started getting like, that's like the entry point for conspiracies now, and it just kept getting like, you know, crystal resonance is causing all depression and anxiety in people, and I was like, so I don't want to damn him necessarily, but I do sort of feel like there's probably like a 110% chance that he thinks that Bill Gates puts a microchip in the vaccines right now. I just shouldn't have taken that route, man. We can't make up that balance. It's not Malf, okay? A grand lift of rolled. Hold on, we have Rolled's medallion. Hoisted, dude. It's not Malf. But both, you can ask Malf. Both Malf and I were friends with him. I also remember, like, in 9th grade geography class, he was 10 minutes late because he was smoking weed. And I feel like in the 9th grade, that's like a huge red flag. Like, you smoked a joint and then you went to 9th grade geography class? Like, even at age 13, 14, we were like, you can't, that's irresponsible, man. Like, school lets out at like 2:30. You couldn't have just waited until 2:30? You've always been 40? Bro, what are you talking about? When you're 13 years old, you're actually like a little kid. You shouldn't be... If you're gonna smoke weed, you should at least, like, you know, do something cool. Don't just smoke weed and then bore yourself to tears in 9th grade geography class. Like, hey, spacebar 255. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. He did not have glaucoma, okay? Everybody knows that the proper way to handle that is you put your nose to your grindstone for the first 3 years of high school, get into a good college, then fuck around in your senior year of high school when, like, your grades matter a lot less, and then have a lot of fun in college. Don't start doing that shit in 9th grade. What's wrong with you? High school geography teacher here. Can you tell my students not to smoke weed? That's literally what I just said. Don't smoke weed and go to geography class. If you're gonna do it, wait till, like, I don't know, school lets out, and then, like, share a joint among 6 of your friends, and then play some Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Don't do it at like lunchtime at 10:35 a.m. Then go to geography class and you're fucking greening out on the school bus like a loser later. Like, what's wrong with you?